new video from me. If you've never seen me before, my name is Adam Ivor, and today you join me from inside of my 2013 1 of 500 BMW M3. I thought I would do an update because I've owned this car for 6 months now. So I've owned this car for 6 months now, and I bought this going into the sale of the car as one of my dream cars. I've always desired an E92 M3. I thought they were one of the best looking cars I've ever seen. I love the noise of the V8. I could not personally decide between a manual and a DCT, so I actually, if you can see, I ended up with a DCT model, and I'll explain into that in a little while. But I wanted this video to be not like a review, like a typical journo review or anything like that. This is a guy that bought his dream car, that's living with his dream car, that gets to drive his dream car, and I just wanted to see if it lived, to let you guys know if it lived up to the hype or not. I picked my M3 up on January 2018, I think it was January. I definitely put the deposit down in December, but I picked it up at the end of January, I think. But regardless of when I picked it up, this is about around the 6 months mark since I got it, and let me open it up by saying I have loved every second of ownership of this thing. It has surpassed every expectation. I love it. I literally love this car. Oh God, I love this thing. Let me explain. I come from a very Honda background. I've had a lot of Type R's and a lot of stuff like that through my growing up. I'm 28 years old now, even though I may not look it, but I am 28. I've always lusted after one of these since the first day I saw one. And do you know what? I can't even remember when I first saw one, but you know, when the M3 comes out, it's always exciting, especially when you're like 19, 20, you're like, oh my God, that's a sick car, it's so out of reach, I don't know if I can ever afford one. Well, thankfully for me, depreciation's a thing, and they come down. I did pay very strong money for this, but it is a low mileage limited edition one. The limited edition comes with like the different trims on the dash. It comes with blue stitching in the seats and black wheels, and it comes with a limited edition paint colour. Mine is a pearlescent white. I think it's called mineral white. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a complete anorak when it comes to these cars. I just know that I love it, and I've wanted one for so long, and now I actually have one. I always feel like a lot of people say, don't meet your heroes, don't buy your dream cars, because you never know if you're actually going to like it or not. But I'm telling you now, this thing has not disappointed me in the slightest, and I mean that. The naturally aspirated 4-litre V8 is nothing but a joy to rev the nuts off of it, and you do have to rev the nuts off of it, but by hitting the M button on the steering wheel, turning it into the sports mode, because I've got it all programmed in so that it goes into like the rawest mode you can have it in, I guess. So when you hit the M button, the throttle response becomes instant. Like, it really is insane, the difference from normal auto, or the normal auto mode that the car has, to the flappy pedal where you're obviously controlling the gear changes. My one complaint with the auto box, which I obviously did go for in the end, is that when it's in normal driving mode and you put your foot down, the car seems a bit confused. Like, it almost feels like the car's saying to me, why are we not in sport mode and you're driving me like an idiot? That's honestly how it comes across. It kind of selects gears too quick for me, and I don't particularly like it. But for driving around town, doing long distance stuff, it's perfect. The gearbox is perfect. When you're on it, and I mean when you're hooning this thing, and some spirited driving or B-lane blasting, whatever you want to call it, the DCT is also absolutely fantastic. Now, I am a driver's guy. Like, I am a driver's driver. I love driving cars, and I have multiple projects on the go all the time. I have manual cars, I have an automatic daily car, but why did I go for the DCT? One, there's way more available, so you get a better options list on the car. You actually tend to get a better car overall because there's way less manual ones that were sold as new. So whereas you could be searching for a year for your perfect car, I wanted to buy mine now. I was ready to buy, so I kept looking, and I was looking for manuals initially, but then I had to go into DCT, and I was like, oh my goodness me, that is ridiculous. I love the noises, I love the downshift noises. Oh, it's just so good. Yeah, it's just been, and I don't regret it at all. I think I'd have another DCT tomorrow if I was to buy another one. So yeah, if you're thinking about that, DCT or manual, definitely consider a DCT. Oh God, it's just so good. I mean, it's not the fastest fastest car in the world, don't get me wrong, it's not going to set any records, but as a whole package, the way the car handles, oh, it's just so good. And oh, I just can't even explain, like, I can't even, I'm struggling to put it into words, but I just love it. And I still go out to my garage now and I open the door and I just look at it and I'm like, I cannot believe I've got an M3. This is just the best feeling ever. So yeah, on that sense, it's been amazing. I'll talk about the practicality of it in case you've clicked on my video not seeing me before and you just kind of want to get the feel of owning one of these things if you're a potential buyer. I haven't had any issues with it yet. I don't use mine daily. I've done about 2,000 miles in this since I bought it in January, so it's not like I use mine every day. It comes out once or twice a week if I'm lucky. I don't really get it out in the wet. I'm a bit of a pansy when it comes to this car, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's just purely down to me absolutely adoring it and having other cars accessible to me, so I don't have to ruin it. As a day-to-day car, when I have used it daily, it's been fine. It's thirsty, I get about, let me just check, but bear in mind I do drive it spiritedly as well. I'm getting an average of 19.3 miles to the gallon, and I don't think that's the end of the world. I don't think that's too bad. You don't buy a 4-litre V8 expecting good petrol mileage, do you? Like, let's be honest, like, I just love I love everything about this car. I love the driving position, I love the steering wheel. It's like a perfectly chunky, soft leather steering wheel. It's so good. The flappy paddles are in such a nice space. The gearbox, when it's in this like hard mode, you can actually put an extra mode on. Down here there's a button that sends it, you have to turn all your traction control off and it gives you an extra like mode for the gearbox that makes it like super savage, super fast, and it's really, really fun. I have done a launch in it, like launch controls. I haven't done any real research into these launch controls to see how many I'm allowed to do, but like I did a launch control in it and oh my god, it was so sick. I would do one for the video, but I haven't got anybody to film it for me, and I don't really know where I'd get away with it at this time of night because it is still daylight and I don't want to, obviously this is where I live, I don't want to get in trouble with the local area, but I really do adore this car. Yeah, driving position is perfect. I have driven this some real long distances. I take it up north and stuff when I have to, and I've been to a few meetings in London and events in London and Silverstone, and the car on long journeys is a BMW 3 Series at the end of the day. That's really all it boils down to, and it's an absolute blast. On the motorways, people look at you because obviously it's the M3. Like this is like people kept saying to me, why don't you get 335i, you can map them better. Mate, it's not an M3. It's not an M3 at the end of the day, and I didn't grow up wanting a 335. I grew up wanting an M3, so that is why. I'm gonna undo the window now while we go down these back lanes because I love it down here. The downshift noise is one of my absolute favourite parts. Also, the car rev matches for you, which I know a lot of people will hate, but obviously it's not a manual one, so you can't do it yourself. And oh, it's just so sick. The way the balance of the car dances around, it's absolutely fucking love it, man. Oh god, I really don't know if it ever gets any better for me than this car. I want to talk about the practicality of the car. If you want to use it every single day, if it's going to be your only car and aren't in a situation where you can have loads of them, you wouldn't put my dog in it, but I suppose other people can. You know, it's leather, so it'll clear up quick. The boot is massive. Honestly, I play golf now, and I know everyone's probably going to be like, oh, why do you play golf? Just because Jeremy Clarkson hates people that play golf. But yeah, I can fit my golf clubs in the back. I can actually fit 2 sets of golf clubs in the back, so me and a pal can go. And yeah, it's really handy. The boot's massive, like I said. So when I've travelled with suitcases, I can get it all in. I am thinking next year I'm going to do a road trip in this car, so hopefully you guys will be able to come along with that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because I will be doing a road trip next year. Fingers crossed if it all goes to plan. Obviously main work dictates when my time off is, but we should be able to definitely do a bit of a road trip in the M3. Fuel, like I said, you don't buy one of these cars worrying about MPG, so I think we can breeze by that. Servicing, it's like a normal BMW. I mean, if you want to treat it it's like a special one, you can. Obviously mine's completely standard at the minute. I haven't really done many miles in it, hence me not really worrying about service just yet, but I will be getting it serviced probably January next year, well, probably October this year. When I go take it for an MOT, I'll probably get service done on it at the same time. and I probably will keep that at a dealer. As much as I moan about them, people, when you resell these things, want a dealer stamp. So I'm going to probably be taking it there. My favourite things of the car, actually, did I say many negatives? Negatives. Alright, this is just for me personally, but like I said, this is my video, not a review video or anything. Aftermarket parts are so expensive for these. I think people know that they're BMW, like companies know they're BMWs, and obviously some parts have to be developed more, but because you've got a BMW, it makes it more expensive. So like suspension and stuff, it's all very, very expensive. I really would like to change a lot of stuff on the car in the future, because I like modifying my cars, but for now I can't afford it really, if I'm completely honest, and I'm gonna have to wait until I can until there's some spare cash to be able to modify it the way I want. Also, tyres on these are phenomenally expensive. I use Michelin Pilot Sport 2s, Michelin Club Sport Pilot 2s, I think that's what they are. They're the good ones. They were like £280 a corner on the rear, and oh my god, that was just disgusting. But it is what it is, you know. My favourite thing about this car though is that it puts a smile on my face. Every time I look at it, I'm like, what a sick car. Every time I drive it, I'm like, what a phenomenal car. And I'm so glad that it does that, instead of making me regret getting it. I would have hated to buy this car and then ended up having to sell it a few months later going, wow, I just didn't get on with it. It's such a beautiful car standard. It's so lovely to be able to go out in and not feel like I'm a chav, if I'm completely honest, and still be able to use it like you know, like a car that loves to have its neck ringed. It's just brilliant. I just love it. So I'm a bit biased to that. I also just feel like I should say I don't regret buying the DCT at all. Like I said, I'd get another one if I was going to. I guess that's really it I can really talk about for now. Like I said, this is like a 2,000 mile update, 2,500 mile update, 6 months update. I'll do another one in another 6 months. Who knows, by then it could have some modifications on it. And like I said, I will be using it to enjoy it. I'm not using it as a promotional tool to try and like, for any other reason other than just being honest, that I absolutely just adore it. And yeah, that's it. I love my BMW M3. I haven't really got anything negative to say about the car itself, other than it's expensive to run, but it is what it is, I guess. So I really hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope I've been somewhat informal to you if you've wanted to learn something about ownership, not so much about the car. You know, the cars are so old now. Like I said, this is 2013, so it's, what year is it? 2018. It's a 5-year-old car, so there's plenty of information about it out there on the internet if you want to know. But yeah, that's my little owner's guide to owning a BMW M3. If you're going to buy one, let me know down below. Let me know what spec you're getting it in. I don't want to hear manual versus DCT debate. It's dead. No one cares. If you want a DCT one, buy a DCT one. If you want a manual one, buy a manual one. It's as simple as that. I am very glad I didn't get a manual one, because it means I don't drift it and I don't do burnouts everywhere. I did try and do a burnout in this, but the DCT wouldn't let me. So I don't know if I need to have that like tuned out or something like that. But yeah, from me, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you'll subscribe and stick around for more. I do plenty of vlogging, all based around cars, not so much around the M3. I've got a bunch of other projects, MX-5, EG6 and a Silvia. But regardless, I hope you'll leave a like on the video and tune in again next time. See you later, guys.